Hello and welcome back to Cache the Line to another Let's Chat, because there is another little bit of update to Cachely, an iOS app that we use for geocaching. And if you're in chat, hello, how's it going? So first of all, if you recall recently, the Geocaching HQ updated their official app to show Adventure Labs. And if you were to scroll around on the map, you'll see these little icons here, the Adventure Lab icons that indicate where there are Adventure Labs. And so that is kind of their first step towards integrating geocaching with Adventure Labs. And if you were to tap on an icon, you'd get the information, tap that, and it would take you over to the Adventure Labs app to continue with that. So they have also recently just added a little bit of API functionality for these Adventure Lab icons, which means that Cachely, the first and foremost iOS geocaching app, the one that everybody knows, is now able to do the same thing. So if you were to go into Cachely and make sure that you are updated to the latest version, it should be in the Apple App Store. So if you haven't done that, go check it and make sure you're updated. And you will then have an option in the cache types. There it is. Cache types. There is now Adventure Labs as a cache type, kind of in its own section because it's not technically a cache type. As a side note, if there are any other updates to this after the video is out, then I'll pop a video up in the corner, or you can check out information in the description. I'll make sure that updates are there. So yes, Lindsay Weeb in chat is saying, I've never heard of Cachely. Well, if you have an iPhone, go to the App Store and check it out. It's a few bucks for the app, but there's so much functionality, and it's worth checking out if you are serious about geocaching. Okay, so you can also, on Facebook, there is a Cachely user group where announcements and updates are posted, and you can get questions answered and whatnot. Let me just check in this chat here. Okay, so yes, the official app has the Adventure Lab icons, and now we have them in Cachely. So going back to what this filter looks like, if we are centered on a map, there are some limitations to Adventure Labs because they're not geocaches or geocache listings. So at this point, very much like the official app, Cachely has the option to, when they're on the map, to tap the icon, and it also will take you over to the Adventures app. So that functionality is the same as the official app. Now, the fun part here is with the filters. If you'll notice, I have disabled all of my filtering. And that has brought up basically a list of all of the icons that are within the range that I've chosen. Because Adventure Labs don't have the same properties as cache listings, and because the live API that Cachely uses for searching requires those parameters, all of these additional parameters here, none of them really apply to Adventure Labs. So the trick here is, it took a while to figure this out. The Adventure Labs will show up on a search if you disable all of your filters. So that's one way to get them. The other way is if you have filtering enabled, if you reset everything, then you will also receive everything that matches, because no filters are added that apply only to Adventure Labs. So then if you were to enable exclude my finds and hides, that's always the two filters that I add, because those are the things, if I'm geocaching, I don't want to see them. So I turn those on, but he has made the exception so that the Adventure Labs will still show up with those two features, which is a good add-on. So I like that that's on there. The problem is, if you make any changes to any of these other filters, suddenly the Adventure Labs will no longer show. So if you were to say change the terrain to a range of 3 to 5 and do the same search, the result will not include Adventure Labs because Adventure Labs don't have terrain ratings. So if we set it back to normal, so now there's no parameters there. We're at our basic searching. Filtering is enabled and no finds and no hides. Even if you have map bound search, that will no longer bring in Adventure Labs. So if you want to see Adventure Labs, you will have to have your bare bones search. And then that will give you the results to show Adventure Labs. The one thing that I wanted clarification on because of this update is, yes, if I was, say, searching around, let's reset the filters, go back to our basics. If I'm searching around I have like specific targets. I'm looking for a 2.5 difficulty, 3.5 terrain, cache type. I'm looking for multi-caches. No, that's very rare. Let's search for a traditional cache that's, given a range. Say I'm working on a challenge cache. So I'm looking for a specific type of cache. Do my search, and I'll get a bunch of results, hopefully a few results. There's a couple of results. So now, but if I'm, say, going for this cache over here, and I want to know if there's an Adventure Lab in the area, I can't bring them on without adding other caches to this map because I have to reset the filters or go back to a bare bones and do another search. So one of the things that Nick has said about version 7, which is on its way, is that there will be custom filter lists so you can quickly jump between them. So now, theoretically, I would be able to save this filter setup and then reset everything so that I can view Adventure Labs and then go back to this filter setup. So that's another thing that's coming for version 7, and it still makes things a little bit of a pain because Adventure Labs are kind of unique in their own way. And another update for version 7 will be being able to add Adventure Labs to lists. So let's bring in the Adventure Labs again, disable, and show me those labs. Where did they go? Oh, interesting. What? Filtering is disabled, and yet they didn't show up. Let's see, did it? No, it's still not showing up. I wonder if it's not paying attention to this. So I'm showing cache types. Because filtering is disabled, none of this should matter, but I'm resetting everything back to their basic settings. Still filtering disabled. And now, now there they are. Okay, so it's not just an API thing. He also has the interface set so that if any of these things are not their basic settings, then it won't show Adventure Labs. Good to remember that. So, okay, disable filtering or reset and disable filtering, and then you get the Adventure Labs. So again, tap on it, and then tapping it will take you over to the Adventure Lab app so that you can play them. Now, he's also said right now there's no way to so if you were to go into filters, you've got exclude my finds and hides. These do not apply to Adventure Labs. There's no way right now to hide the Adventure Labs from the map that you have found or the Adventure Labs that you own. So that is, he has said that should be coming in the next version, or eventually at some point. Don't quote me on that, but that's what I've heard. And then the other thing to remember with Adventure Labs is that these are the posted coordinates. These are the initial locations of Adventure Labs. There's no way to view all of the locations within an Adventure Lab, and that's the same with the official app, the official geocaching app. You do need to tap to go over to the Adventure Lab icon, or Adventure Lab app, in order to see where all of the locations are on the map. Okay, so important to remember. And then there was one other bonus feature that was mentioned as well. If you were to tap one, let's say in caches you want to highlight caches that you want to go for, you can go into the hamburger, the dots in the corner, and you can say highlight, and then give it a highlight color. Let's make it yellow, and then back on the map, boom, you can highlight it so that you know that that's one that you want to go for. You can do that with the pins because this is app specific. It's not something that is an Adventure Lab feature officially. This is something just for Cachly. If you were, this is the trick. If you were to go to that pop-up, tap and hold, you get the fly up with a highlight and the ever-coveted copy coordinates. So now you can highlight it. Let's say I want to make that icon yellow. Boom, it's highlighted yellow. If I want to go there and I don't want to go to the Adventure Lab to copy out or write out coordinates or whatever, I can press and hold. I can press and hold. There we go. Remove, highlight, edit, and copy coordinates. And then I can go over to my navigation app, Google Maps, or anywhere else that I want to use those coordinates, paste them in, and then go. So that is a very good feature that Nick has added for Cachly. And so that, I think that is what I have found so far about the Cachly Adventure Lab update. So again, if you don't have the update yet, make sure you go to the App Store and look for Cachly and make sure you've got the latest update. Have there been any questions in chat? Let's see. Can you filter by highlight? Colin says. That's a good question. So, well, let's... I don't think that was a filter option yet. I think that's a general Cachly function that has been requested. I haven't looked into that, but that would be a good one to have, though. I was just about to test by filtering for yellow highlights because there's one and there's one. But hey, Nick, if you're watching, there's a suggestion. What else do we have? Oh, yes. So, yeah, Burnt Turtles makes a good suggestion. If you found it, you could highlight it red. So because the app, the Cachly doesn't tell you whether you found the Adventure Lab or not, you have to go over to the official Adventure Lab app. In Cachly, you could highlight it as something. Like I could highlight it yellow if I've already found that one. That's a good little strategy. Hopefully HQ quickly enhances the API so that completed and owned Adventure Labs are able to be hidden. Yeah, I think everybody is hoping that is the next feature they're going to add to the API. Yeah, Colin says ignore filters for Adventure Labs would be nice. Any other questions? Is Cachly available for Android users? No, currently it is not. I can't say anything else to that. I don't know. But it is not. It is only an iOS app at this point. And yes, it is worth the cost. All right. So, Nick, thank you again for this update. I know you're pushing them out as soon as these new features are available to help keep Cachly on the top of the ladder. So thank you for that. And what else do we have? Oh, yes. Remember to check out that Facebook group if you have any other questions. Everybody is very helpful, and Nick is active in that group if you're on Facebook. So I'll put the link to that group in the description so you can check it out. And I think that covers everything. If you have any other questions, then yeah, by all means, post a comment below. And if you think this was very helpful, please give it a thumbs up. That helps it get a little more visibility on YouTube so that more people can see this. And share the video. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. And on that note, I will see you in the next video. Happy caching and excellent adventuring.